Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be doing a second trimester update. I'm going to be talking about symptoms, TTTS, cravings, things that we've purchased for our babies, and reveal their gender too, because I need to do a little bit of updating on that for YouTube. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So today I'm going to start by going through the baby book that I have, or the belly book that I have, and talking about some of the symptoms that I've been experiencing. Since the last video, I haven't really been experiencing that many symptoms, but things have changed a little bit and a lot has been going on, so it's definitely important that I update everybody on what's been going on in this pregnancy for myself and for people who know me that want an update. So I have been doing some updates on Facebook, but I figured sitting down and doing a video would be pretty helpful too. So I'm going to start with week 13 because that's about where I left off from my last video. In week 13, we did find out that our babies are identical twins. They are mono-di twins, which means that they are sharing a placenta, but they're in their own individual amniotic sacs. So they have a membrane that separates them, but they have nutrients both coming from the same placenta. In week 14, I just explained that I was really tired. It was hard because I was back to work and I was getting my classroom set up, so it was really hard to be on my feet all day, and my back was definitely starting to hurt in week 14, like my lower back. So that was pretty challenging, and I was definitely feeling a little bit down because my husband was still underway, so I was missing him quite a bit and wishing that he was helping me after work, like cook dinner and stuff, because I didn't want to be doing that on my own. So that was a little bit hard, but got past it obviously. In week 15, I mentioned that my lower back and tailbone were hurting. It was starting to get kind of worse, and I suspect that my pelvic floor is suffering, or was suffering a little bit, because my lower back was hurting, but also like my pubic bone and that whole area underneath was in pain. So my pelvic floor was definitely suffering, and probably still is. I've just kind of like pushed it to the back of my mind a bit, but that was definitely something that came in pretty harsh in week 15, and I was using a lot of pain relief cream, so that was like my best friend. In week 16, I said that the twins were the size of avocados, which I thought was funny because I really love avocados, and the twins went through a growth spurt during that week, or the app that I have said that they were going to go through a growth spurt, and they definitely did. So that was interesting. And I did get sick over eggs. I hadn't gotten sick really at all yet. So in week 16, I was cooking breakfast and I was making eggs, and I guess the smells were irritating the babies, so they didn't even let me finish cooking the eggs before I got sick. So they did not want eggs at all. I had another appointment. Heartbeats were at 139 and 148, and I got to see them on the ultrasound. They looked like they had really long legs on the ultrasound, but it was just the way that the pictures were taken. And the tech also said that she could already tell the gender. I didn't want to find out the gender though, because I was waiting for my husband to get home. But we wanted to find out the genders together, so I didn't find out at that ultrasound. In week 17, I started to get my energy back. I was feeling like my normal self again, minus the back pain by the end of the day. That was pretty rough. And I was starting to eat more vegetables again, because prior to that I was eating a lot of carbs and didn't really want vegetables at all. And vegetables are something that I love. So I was finally eating those again. I had to do a 24-hour urine sample because my protein was a little bit elevated at the appointment prior. So I did a 24-hour urine sample and confirmed that I do not have preeclampsia. Sometimes protein levels can be a little bit higher when you have twins, so that's probably what the case was. So that was really relieving because I do not want any complications like preeclampsia. That would be a little bit challenging. So And then in week 18 is when I wrote my last update, and when I actually confirmed that my protein levels didn't mean that I had preeclampsia. I was still feeling back pain, and I finally ordered a belly band that week because of the back pain. So I wanted to get some relief from that, and I heard the belly bands were amazing. So I ordered one from Belly Bandit, and I absolutely love it. It is so, so good. And it even has a little heat cold pack that you can put in the back, which is super nice. Lastly, I wrote that my skin was doing good and that I was really feeling beautiful in my skin, and I still do. Like, I've actually felt really good this pregnancy, which I know is something a lot of women struggle with. So I'm pretty thankful that I do feel good in my skin, even though I'm growing rapidly. I am currently 23 weeks and 3 days pregnant. So my last update that I wrote was on week 18 because things got very crazy after that. So now I'm gonna go into depth about what's happened since week 18. So in week 19, I had to fly to Anchorage. This was on September 27th, I believe. And I live in Kodiak, Alaska, so I had to fly to Anchorage, which is like a 50-minute flight, and see my specialist, my MFM. And at that appointment, I had my 20-week ultrasound or 20-week scan, the anatomy scan, and everything looked pretty good, except for the fact that my twins had some presence of unequal fluid levels in their amniotic sacs, and twin B had a really, really small bladder. In addition to that, there was a little bit of abnormal blood flow in the umbilical cords. So what I was told is that I was diagnosed with twin-twin transfusion syndrome, and the twin-twin transfusion syndrome is a major complication in a twin pregnancy. Before I talk about TTTS, I just want to share a little disclaimer. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional. Everything that I'm sharing is from my understanding of what my doctors have told me and by doing my own research. So just take that into consideration before you use me as like a reference if you're dealing with TTTS yourself. Please talk to your doctor. Please do your own research. And other than that, I hope that this is a little bit helpful. It affects both babies. It is the sharing of blood between the vessels and arteries in the placenta between both babies. So with this diagnosis, I was diagnosed like stage 1 and stage 3. There's 5 stages. Stage 1 is when there's fluid discordance, so their fluids are unequal, either below 2 or above 8. So baby B was below 2 at like 1.7, and baby A was at like 9 point something. So their fluid was different. And in stage 2, they usually have different sizes, like the babies are growing differently, which my babies were not. Their growth was fine. And they also have presence or disappearance of a bladder and a stomach in the donor baby. Baby B was my donor baby because there was less amniotic fluid in the sac, and baby was donating more blood to baby A. And baby A is considered the recipient. So that's stage 2. In stage 3, I believe the blood flow through the umbilical cord is abnormal, which they were showing a little bit of, and size also is starting to come into play, and hearts are starting to be affected. In stage 4, that's when the I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, I think it's called hydrops, is present in the recipient and in the donor baby. I forget what's going on in the donor baby. And then in stage 5, there's death of either one or both babies. So I was in between like stage 1 and stage 3. So I stayed the weekend in Anchorage, which was not my original plan. I was supposed to fly home that night. Stayed the weekend in Anchorage so that I could be seen Monday morning by my MFM again to see where the babies were in the stages. TTTS is very progressive and unpredictable, so it was important that I stayed in the area and get monitored. So at that appointment, my doctor noticed that things were kind of the same, if not slightly worse, with the blood flow in the umbilical cords. That is where we decided I would be referred out of state to a fetal center to do laser ablation surgery. So without this surgery, the survival of either of my babies was slim to none, and there's nobody in the state of Alaska that does this surgery. My doctor used to do this surgery, but because there's so few cases in Alaska, there's no reason to have a team set up here to be practicing. So I was referred to a team that does multiple of these cases a week, compared to Alaska where there's only 2 or 3 cases a year. So I went to Denver. My husband was still underway, so all of this was going on and I was completely by myself. And my husband was underway. They had pulled into Seattle and they were able to let him off the boat early. It was about 2 weeks early, and then they would have been done with the patrol anyways, but they were able to let him off the boat. So on the 30th, I was referred to Denver, but I went home to Kodiak that night just to pack a bag because I literally had nothing with me. So I packed a bag in Kodiak, and then the next morning is when I flew to Seattle, then Denver. And in Seattle is where I picked up my husband, and we both flew to Denver. So he was able to be with me for my appointment that day. Yeah, it was October 2nd. And so on October 2nd, I was scheduled for surgery. I went into my appointment and the doctor saw that things had regressed in 48 hours from when I was told that I would need surgery. And they regressed to stage 1. So the only thing that they were seeing in these babies were the fluid discordance, and they were able to see the bladder and the stomach in both babies, and they were not seeing any abnormal blood flow in the umbilical cords. And so they canceled my surgery, and we stayed in Denver for 2 weeks to be monitored. Everything was still stable, and so we made the decision to come back to Alaska and be monitored by my MFM here in Anchorage. So that is why I'm in this room. I'm staying on the Air Force Base in something called the Fisher House, which is like a nonprofit for medical families that are dealing with, or for military families that are dealing with some medical things. So yeah, I'm here in Anchorage, and it seems like I will be here until I give birth, whenever that may be. As far as TTTS, the twins still have TTTS, and I'm still being monitored for that. I'm not out of the woods yet. The timeline for surgery is like up to 26 weeks is when my doctors will do the surgery, and then after that point the babies are too big and it's too dangerous. So after 26 weeks, if I haven't had surgery, then I won't need surgery. And the reason why that's a good thing and why we're not just going for it even though they still have TTTS is because the surgery has some complications in itself. Like, it's not a perfect procedure. They've gotten better at the procedure, but once you poke a hole in that amniotic sac, there's, you know, chances that it could rupture and all kinds of things for preterm labor. And so it's better to hold off if the babies are not showing signs past stage 1. If babies are showing signs of stage 2 or 3 or worse, then yes, the surgery is necessary. But before then, it's not really something that you would want to opt for. So I'm waiting it out. I'm being monitored by my doctor, and so far things are still stable, which I'm very thankful for. However, after 26 weeks, the only thing that they can do is drain the amniotic fluid from the sacs or deliver the babies early. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about that because I really wanted to cook these babies for as long as humanly possible, and delivery before 30 weeks is a little scary for me. After 30 weeks, I would feel a little bit more comfortable, even though that's still really, really early. So yeah, that's basically the long story of what's been going on. So that's why I haven't written my book yet, because I'm just like kind of processing everything and dealing with all the emotions with that, praying a lot. So it's been a challenge, but we're gonna get through this. And the exciting part is that once Jordan was with me, we were able to find out their genders. So we are having identical twin girls. And we are so excited. It's been so fun like shopping for them already, even though we haven't picked up like too much stuff because we're gonna have to bring it back to Kodiak anyways. But yeah, it's just been so awesome. We have chosen their names. Their names both start with a K. However, we are not sharing them until they're born, I think. So their names start with K, and we love them. So excited to welcome my little girls into the world. Hopefully they hold off until at least 34 weeks. That's like my new goal, is 34 weeks. But with TTTS, things are super unpredictable, so it's really not up to me. I can't be making plans. I'm such a planner, so this is like really hard for me because I have no idea when they're coming. And yeah, they're just been surprising us this whole pregnancy. Especially because if you watched my last video, I was convinced that they were boys, like, and I had pretty much everybody else around me convinced. So finding out they were girls, I was shocked, and I pretty much shocked everybody else too. So these little ones have definitely been a surprise, but a good one at that. I will show you some of the things that we've gotten for the girls, and then I will wrap this video up. So I've got a small mound of baby items here that I'll share with you, things that we've bought for the girls while we've been gone, and some things that have been gifted. Everything else is at home in Kodiak, so this is just a few items that I have with me that we might use in the hospital or just take home. I don't really know, but I'll start with this cute little hat. We got two hats, and we got them in different colors because I do want to have them matching a lot, but some things it'll be nice to have different items. So I got this cute little pink hat that has this little poof at the top, and it comes with these little mitts. So obviously two mitts. So we got this one in pink, and we got this one in like a white cream color, and it's got cute little detailing, a little bow, and it comes with the two white mitts as well. I don't know where they are in this pile, but they're somewhere. So we have two hats. We also got a bunch of bows. It's hard to share them because we had to wash everything already for something that happened. And yeah, some of the bows fell apart. I can easily glue them together, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So this is what they look like. They come in different colors. This pink bow, we've got like a polka dot, a white, a plain pink, a jean color, and I think that's pretty much it. See, like the bow fell off, but I can easily glue that back on. So I'll get to that. We got cute little socks with these little frillies on them. I find these so adorable when little baby girls have these little frilly socks on. I don't know why. I think it's because I had a bunch when I was a little baby. So we got a pink set, black, and white. So those I'm really excited to put on the girls. And then here are those mitts, the white mitts that go with that hat. And then I have not washed these yet, but I picked these up for the hospital because I'm suspecting they're coming early. So they're gonna be preemies. And these are just two pairs of, well actually 4 pairs because it's a 2-pack of preemie pants to put over some onesies. So the one pants have like feet on them, and then these pair are just ankle pants, and you can put socks on them. So it is gonna be pretty cold. We are in Anchorage. They're gonna be born in the winter, so I wanted to pick up some pants. And Jordan's gonna bring back some like sleep sacks and things like that. They're at home. Some other things we got some other pants. This one has like little frillies that are at the top, and it came with a pink pair. And then I got a bunch of onesies. I think these are in size newborn. I forgot to mention my babies are measuring kind of big, which is a good thing because they are healthy. They're moving around a lot, which is awesome. Baby A during my last scan was in the 85th percentile for growth, so she's pretty big. And baby B was only 16%, I think 16% behind her sister. So she was like kind of more in the middle range, but that's still really good. So I don't know if when they're born, depending on like when they are born, if baby A will be in newborn and maybe baby B will be in preemie, but I have some newborn things just in case. So I have this pack of onesies that are Carter's onesies. Honestly, I've seen these everywhere, like anywhere that sells Carter's has this pack of onesies, but I love them so much I had to grab them. So there's a pink and white stripe, a plain pink that says "Mommy makes me smile," and it's got this cute detailing on the top. Another pink and white stripe. I think I got 2 sets. I don't know what I did. Another pink and white stripe. And then I have a floral detailed one. I have this one that has like cute little elephants and giraffes and foxes on it, little animals. Really subtle though, which I like. I don't like anything that's too loud. And then there's this one that's like almost a polka dot pattern, but they are little hearts. It's got this big heart on the front. So these are short sleeve onesies, so this can go under like a fleece sleep sack, but I need some long sleeve onesies still. And then some more pants that came with outfits. This actually came with an outfit that our friend in Denver got us, which was so sweet. Oh, I know why I have so many pink and white stripes, because one of those came with like this set that she got us. And so the set is like a little hoodie and it has a fox on it, which is super cute because, you know, we live in Alaska and I kind of want to do a woodland theme for the girls' room. So the jacket and the pants both have like foxes on them, which is adorable. And the last outfit I have is this like long sleeve, preemie sized, what do you call these, pajamas? It's not really a sleep sack, but they're like footed jammies, and they're so sweet and subtle. It has the little pocket to cover their hands. I believe this is Carter's. Yeah, this is a Carter's, and it's kind of like ballerina theme, which I love so much because I danced for many years, so I definitely wanted to get them like ballerina type clothing and put them in dance and all that fun stuff. I'm so excited to have girls. And then the 2 other things we got them that we love, we got them blankets. We each got them the same blanket. It's a pink blanket, but it's got like this fluffy inside that's cream white colored, and the outside is like a mauvey pink, which I love because I love the more muted pinks. I don't like hot pink. So the pastels, the mauves, I enjoy those so much more than hot pink. So the blankets are really cute, and we can put that over their car seats or something when we leave the hospital and it's freezing outside. And then lastly, we got them these 2 little matching bunnies. I still have to like get small scissors and cut this tag off because it's like sewn into the neck, but these are so soft and sweet, and they have like little sewn eyes in there. You can't really, you can see a little bit, but they're not actual buttons or anything. And I'm gonna cut the tag off obviously, but 2 little white bunnies. I thought those were so cute. So yeah, that is all of the items that we got for the girls that I have here in Anchorage. We have a bunch of stuff at home that's starting to come in. The other unfortunate thing about being here in Anchorage is that I won't have a baby shower because I am here. I'm kind of down about the rest of this pregnancy in a way, because I feel like I'm getting slightly robbed of all of the pregnancy things, and I don't want to complain or sound selfish, because the most important thing is the health of my babies, and I want to be monitored and make sure that they're okay, and if they need to be delivered, we have the NICU here and everything's going to be fine. But like, you know, some of the other things I was looking forward to as a first-time mom, I'm missing out a little bit on. So that's a little bit hard, but like I said, the most important thing is their health, and all of those other selfish things that I'm missing out on doesn't matter, does not matter. I just want 2 healthy little girls. So yeah, I hate to end this video on a slightly sad note, so I will end it with a bump update, because I have grown a lot since my last video where I showed you guys my bump. So let me update you on what the belly is looking like. Okay, so this is my bump. I am pretty much only gaining weight from like the waist, like from my waist to my shoulders. Like my arms are still really skinny, which I never gain weight in my arms, and my legs are still really skinny. I just have a really massive bump that's growing out this way. Like I really have not gotten wide. It's kind of hard to tell in this shirt. But I definitely am growing out that way. So here's the bump, and like I said, I'm 23 weeks and 3 days, so I'm gonna be growing a lot more, which is crazy to me, but I think that my weight gain goals that I had in the first trimester and the beginning of the second trimester have really helped, especially with the size of my babies. So I'm super happy about that. Even if I'm growing, doesn't matter. It's all good with me. So that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching and sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want, you can give me a follow on Instagram. I update that a lot with little baby updates, and that's actually where I announce their gender. So if you want to go check that video out, go hop on over to my Instagram. Don't forget to like and follow, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.